If you're looking for a little bit of help now and again from the universe, want some light entertainment, or a little nugget to meditate on, CATtheMinion Energy Works Card of the Day Picture Edition posts release every morning at 4 o'clock a.m. East Coast USA time. That's GMT -4 during Eastern Daylight Time, i.e. summer, and GMT -5 during Eastern Standard Time, i.e. winter. My Linktree, linktr.ee/CattheMinion, gives you easy access to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, email, and YouTube. You can watch the video version archive of Card of the Day in the Card of the Day archive playlist on CattheMinion YouTube channel, and see examples of personal tarot offered in the Readings for Sale sample playlist. Contact me, see the link tree, to order a personal reading if you'd like a deeper review or shifted perspective. The PDF of available spreads and add-ons is free to download in my link tree. Thanks for tuning in with me. The video you came here to watch starts now. Welcome to CattheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is a reading for September for water signs. I guess I'll just leave those where they are. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. The energy that I'm looking at is sort of more focused around the equinox. All right, so autumnal or fall equinox for northern hemisphere, and spring equinox for our friends in the southern hemisphere. The spread that I'm doing for water signs is, and that's just sort of to anchor the time when I'm doing this reading. So whenever you hit it is when it's the right time, no matter what it says, because, you know, all times are now and all that jazzy stuff. Right, so it's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, anybody dealing with water energy, cross reading, all that stuff. So the spread that I'm doing for this is my Lenormand 16 grid. I have a 9 also, which is a little cheaper. So a lot of the time when I do these readings, I'll use the Oracle card at the beginning to get a topic, especially if I'm doing Pick a Pile with Lenormand. But my Pick a Pile has moved to Patreon. So if you want to pick a pile, you'll have to go there. I think that's Shadow Tier, which is $5 a month. And I haven't picked out what readings I'm doing for that yet. Anyway, the way that this reading is designed is for the Oracle card to come after, and I got a double. Sometimes I'll get 2 pop out and I'll take them. So this is the Thoth deck. Mr. Crowley. And this is the Gilded Reverie. I don't know why I can't talk. Gilded Reverie Lenormand. And the rest of the deck. Okay. I'm a little snarfy. I think I need to blow my nose. I ran out of my mint lip balm, so I got the Burt's Bees instead. It's like mint flavored. Okay. I'm just gonna start turning these over, and we'll get to those after, because that's my wrap up. Okay. I spread these out last night. Alright, so this is the public meeting place, the garden, inverted, 8 of Swords inverted energy. Make sure I have that. That looks good right about there, I think. The flowers, the lilies, King of Swords. The man, Ace of Hearts. I tried to say clubs, but that was wrong. Number 28, number 30, number 20. So number 31, the sun, Inverted Ace of Pentacles. Something's not manifesting. This is showing up in exactly the same location in the reading as the Sun card in the regular tarot showed up in the Earth signs reading. Even though that's a different spread. It's interesting though. So number 1, the Messenger, which looks a little bit like Mariah Carey to me, I don't know why. 9 of Cups. I gotta get a message to you. The Carousel Horse. Number 9. So we have the Ship, number 3, with 10 of Swords. Upright. I'm sailing away. This airship reminds me of Teddy Ruxpin, although I think that was more of like an airbag dirigible thing. Also reminds me of the Fifth Element. Was the guy with the little Asian guy with the food cart. He had a little sail ship like this, I think. 2, the Clover, 6 of Pentacles. This is like the good luck card. The Tree inverted, 7 of Cups. I almost always get this card inverted. Number 5. So I've got a rainbow here and a rainbow here. The Sarcophagus, or the Coffin, number 8, with 9 of Pentacles. I just heard Does a Body Good, like those old milk ads. Cindy Crawford. So we have the Book inverted, 10 of Pentacles. This is weird. A lot of the time I'll start reading the cards before I have them all flipped over, so I'm trying to get a better picture. This is the stars in this deck. Inverted with 6 of Cups inverted. The Earth reading had an aspect of timing, like the stars aligning, but it's inverted, which is actually just makes me think of the 6 planets in retrograde right now. So we have the Child here with the Jack of Swords, which could be Page or Knight, but I'm feeling it more Page here. I usually do, but not always. So we have the Child, 13. $24, the Heart card. Jack of Cups. Now, I had the Knight of Cups come out inverted in the Earth reading, and I'm more inclined to think that this is the Knight here. I've got a Page here, I've got a Knight here. But we'll see. It could be, like, flipping between those 2 signals. 24. So I have 35 with the 9 of Swords inverted. This is the Anchor. The Ship and the Anchor together. I'm throwing away the map. The map. And also, like, this whole block here, I'm throwing away the map because I'm not using the stars to navigate. Interesting. 22, a Choice, Queen of Pentacles. Is it these or these? We have the Mask, 40 inverted, Major Arcana energy, so we're getting the Fool and the Emperor, potentially. It could be Judgment twice, it could be the Wheel 4 times. it could be the Hierophant and strength or justice too. 5 times 8 is 40. Eight of Swords is usually I want to break free. Inverted, it usually means I'm free. And this came up a little bit in the Earth reading. I'm looking at this card over here. This is a public meeting place. With it inverted, it's a secret. I'm not telling anybody, but it's coming right next to the messenger. And it's kitty-cornered with the flowers, which are in front of a window depicting flowers. I'm standing in front of this, or I'm standing behind this false front. There's something you're not telling me. But there's still something being... I was going to say, there's still something being secreted. I'm telling you a secret. But I'm telling everybody else something else. Now, if you're dealing with death and resurrection, that has to do with secrets and secretions as well. But this whole thing here is... I'm choosing to take the path less traveled, and I'm throwing away the map. I'm not settling. I'm going to keep going. It's like there's this juxtaposition between being in agony and something not manifesting. This is a little bit like trashing the soul I'm tearing up with my contract. But this is also releasing anxiety. Like, I don't have to stay in these waters forever, which has to do with emotions. Scorpionic energy inverted means I'm coming up for air. Right? I'm pulling up anchor. But here these swans are sort of in the tunnel of love. Like, why am I drifting through the tunnel of love? Maybe my anchor was stuck in some slimy water where there wasn't anything. The man here with the Ace of Hearts, the Ace of Cups, makes this look like a love relationship, but it feels like the feminine energy isn't really here. I mean, it's sort of like luck be a lady tonight. I'm dealing with Six of Pentacles responding to the Six of Cups. I've got Swords and Cups responding to each other. I got Pentacles, Cups, and Swords. I don't think... Do I have any wands on here? No. What's missing is wands. It might be present here. If I'm saying I have the Emperor, because that's fire. This is a little bit like I've lost my connection. But there's an aspect of going within or being within. There's an aspect of healing and resurrection. 13 is usually a death number, but we have the Child here right next to Six of Cups inverted, which is usually like childhood memories. But inverted, it's like I'm no longer romanticizing the past. I'm starting to think about things in a new way. Jack of Swords. Seven of Cups. Distractions, distortions, illusions. It's a little bit like trying to overcome a family curse. I'm finding my own light. The sun inverted gives me moon energy. The moon in this deck tends to be more like notoriety, like infamy, like I'm famous. And it could be a little bit like the masculine energy in this reading is a public figure, but is isolated emotionally. Presenting health and wellness, but trying to secretly describe to someone sort of like their true feelings. The aspect of luck here makes me think that it's related to the timing. Especially because I've got these two sixes working together. I want to manifest something, but it's like you can't manifest something in the same energy you've been sitting in, and this is where this choice to move comes in. But the feminine energy that is really the only one that I see here in particular is the Queen of Pentacles. It's like I have to physically move through space to get to her. I have to take steps and make a decision. Do I go towards this feminine energy in reality, or do I choose to stay where I've been? I'm just sort of floating around out here in pain. Drifting around. This mask over here inverted is sort of cornering with this hiding something. I'm no longer able to pretend that I'm happy when I'm not. I'm not doing like daylight and nighttime. I'm choosing this other option. You know, in one of my Chater episodes recently, I was talking about how everybody tells you it's either this thing or this other thing, but there's always a third choice in life. There's no ultimatums, no matter what people tell you. And I think that's what this reading is about. I'm not even that concerned about this Sun card right here. Ace of Pentacles, it's not manifesting. Ace of Cups, my heart is dominating the reading. How do I feel? How do I want to feel? Why don't I feel better? There's no King of Cups. I'm only at the Knight. I have to go out on this mission. The King of Swords, that's the Master of Artifice. You don't know what he's feeling. Right? I'm a master of putting forth the message that I want to. It's not necessarily manipulation, it's my words are even and balanced and I'm communicating well. It's like I'm presenting a part of the truth that makes people think what I want them to think. That's not necessarily a lie. If it was inverted, it would be malicious manipulation. But it's a little bit, it's like innocent manipulation here. I'm presenting only the best side, right? I'm only seeing one side of the real flowers. Even if I'm putting forth some reality, the rest of it is sort of etched in glass as the rest of it's sort of etched in glass as a perfected image. You know, like if you go to the temples and the leaders are carved, but they might have looked a little bit less like that. That's why there was this guy that was famous for telling the painter to paint him warts and all, because there's always this idea of like, we're gonna airbrush you until you look better, right? Like they were photoshopping people on the monuments 6,000 years ago. This is, we want to get into reality here, but the presentation has been accepted. We're successful. We're sitting on the throne, but there's pain here. There's sort of longing. It's emotional. It's not like a fired desire. It's what does my heart really want, and I've been trying to manifest it. But mostly it's been wrapped up in my thoughts. I've been thinking about it, but not putting it to action. But my heart is really wanting something different. Like I need what my heart desires, and the man in this reading is looking away from the reading. I've been avoiding what my heart desires, and I feel alone. It's not like a man and a woman. It's a masculine and a feminine. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship necessarily. It can be that aspect of yourself. And we see the child here. And what we don't think of is that if my inner child is wounded, I think of me when I was little as the same gender that I am as an adult. And that might not be the case for everybody. But certainly an adult man has an inner child that's a little boy. But what he's neglecting is that he also has an inner child aspect that's a little girl. Because when we're adults, we have our masculine side and our feminine side. And it's basically saying my left brain and my right brain. So when we heal our inner child, we have to heal both sides of it. And I do have an energy report where I was going off on not gendering your inner child. Or not misgendering or whatever. So we have, in order to heal the duality for us now, we have to heal the duality for us in the inner child aspect. And I think some of this could be like, oh, this is the lovers, this is me and my partner, but it's also my left brain and my right brain, the masculine side and the feminine side of my inner child, those coming together. Instead of just being in this internal monologue. But it's a little bit like everything that I've been presenting is starting to bite me in the ass. I'm starting to feel like there's knives in my back. And telling someone the secret that they've been hiding from public is something that's going to give them ease. 9 of Cups is like a contentment. It's release, and it creates healing in the physical body. Release of tension in the muscles themselves, in the muscle fibers. It's not necessarily, it could also not be like I'm throwing away the map. It's like this is uncharted territory for me because I haven't done it before. But this is the right time, the right season to plant this, the right time to do this. I've got 6 of Pentacles. In my music deck, it's The Right Garden by Jane Oliver. And it's sort of relates to what I was talking about for the Earth sign, too. It's like the right environment to plant something in. You have luck on your side if you're doing this now. Even though we're not worrying about, we're like going without navigation. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. there's an aspect of timing here. You know, it's like, I don't need to see where I'm going because I'm arriving right now. I'm putting the map away. I'm turning off my GPS because I'm getting where I'm going. I've navigated all the way up to this door, and I have this path and this path, and I have to decide which one I'm taking. I don't... Ooh, that made me think of, I don't know if it was a bonus track or if it was a leaked track. It's this song called Map by Adam Lambert, and it's, the lyric is, I don't need a map to tell me where I'm at. Pretty sure. It's just called Map. I like that song. But yeah, like, if you're making a decision, you know, it's like you have to trust that you know where you're going. You can't just be like, you know, I need to... It's like you're not allowed to know every little nook and cranny and bump of the terrain that you're going to be in. Sometimes you just have to trust yourself that it's time to go there. I'm also getting crimson and clover over and over, but that's not really that relevant. Let me see what the outcome here is. So we have a double outcome. We have the Queen of Cups, so there she is. The Queen of Cups in the Thoth deck, just get it focused where you can see the whole card. This is very much giving off High Priestess energy. High Priestess is typically the moon, although I usually see her as Pisces. But the Queen of Cups is all of that water, but this card represents more the idea of the water energy as being psychic communication versus emotional. Right? It's like she senses someone's coming. And this bird here, which may or may not be a stork or a crane or whatever, is like bringing her the information. And she's sort of scrying in her fishbowl here. You know, it's like the masculine energy is sending out their message, like beep 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 with the Morse code, and the Queen is like I'm being pinged. Let's, like, what's this message that's coming out of my message machine? Like, let me read the printout. And then we have this hot mess right here. Ten of Cups inverted. So the word on here is satiety. The state of being satiated, fulfillment. But it's inverted. So I have 13 cups, and then I have 10 cups. What's left is 3 cups. 3 of Cups is sort of my party all the time. But it's also... Is there I thought I saw 10 of Cups on here, but it's not. It's 10 of Swords. I have 9, but I don't have 10. It should be contentment, but it's coming in as depression. Which leads me to believe that the feminine energy is depressed. But why is there I'm still stuck on this difference of 3 cups. I feel like I want... If I'm going to have 3 cups, I'm going to have 3 cards. Let me get another card. Somehow I knew when I went to start this reading that I would need an extra card. Hearing Trixie and Katya in my head, like, why am I old? Why am I fat? And I'm like, why am I depressed? Ooh, that one flung right out. Strife. There's the wands I was missing. Which is weird because in Cockney slang, the trouble in strife means wife. Cockney rhyming slang. Saturn in Leo. Okay. Alright. This is the radio tower. This is the broadcast. The feminine energy has been continually upset and confronted by the display that the masculine energy has put out. Sort of depressed by the absence. But these together, I mean, it's sort of 15, but it's reducing it to 5 cups, which means I'm dejected. Woe is me, I'm sad. But it's also, if I'm saying these are 2 different suits, what happens if I mix them together? If I mix water and fire? I mean, technically it's steam, but it's sort of ashes, dirt, earth. 5, if I take 5 from negative 10, it's giving me negative 5 of pentacles, which would mean I'm being brought in. But if I take 5 of pentacles upright, that's saying I'm feeling left out. If I take the 15 as absolute value, it's giving me the devil. I'm tied down, I'm blockaded, I'm restricted in some way. I'm imprisoned. I'm tormented. I'm tormented by the presentation without communication. It's a little bit like I'm reopening the soul contract. Somebody tried. Okay. Somebody tried. If this is a relationship with another person, someone tried to light our soul contract on fire and burn it, and it was thought to be lost. But the communication is in secret. Like, you are my lucky charm in secret, and at this point I choose you, and I'm not going to pretend that I don't want you anymore. Now, this could be sort of again, I mentioned the idea of dangling a carrot in the earth reading, in a different way though. But this could be, this is either a toxic, abusive relationship, or more of a dangling a carrot in front of you of a potential relationship, and nothing has happened. With this resurrecting energy with the sarcophagus and this no longer romanticizing the past, the conflict is of pain and lack of manifestation, and feeling some kind of way about that. There's a little bit of an idea of healing family trauma so that you're not making the same mistakes as were made previously in your DNA chain. And that might be why there's a change of luck here. It's like there's enough inner child work that's happened that time is starting to stand still. It's a little bit like I'm busy all the time, so I can block you out. But it's like things are hanging in midair. Things are starting, but things are also in motion. It's like slow motion running. It's we finally see how the horse's legs are moving because we have high speed film. We're freeze framing it and we're picking up something that we hadn't seen before, which is in this moments of stillness, I'm all alone. This really does feel more like a relationship than a personal situation. Three cups and 5 wands. 8 of swords. I'm just trying to, I'm doing some code switching math in my head with these. Water? Oh, that's also water. Electric. Yeah, it's like things have been static. Like on pause. Or this TV dropped signal. Like I ghosted you. The network was down. There's something really powerful about this energy, and it might be the equinox energy or the 6 planets in retrograde. Because retrograde is sort of like revisit, review, refurbish. That's when you redo your Furby. Reupholster. Any of those kinds of things. Reconnaissance. Reconnaissance. Like I need to re-know. A renaissance, rebirth. Which is what this is giving me. It's like to re-know something is to learn how it is now. Like I need to reconnect. Like with the cables. That was supposed to be like 2 wires coming together, not like giggity. But it's very much like growing mature enough in terms of past baggage or family curse trauma type baggage to be able to step out into the world and behave in a way that hasn't been programmed before. Not like what have I learned how to be? How do I want to be? And that's the uncharted territory. You know, it's like, do you feel lucky or am I going to get lucky? It's not a lot of like sexy passion here. a little bit like a standoff, but what's on the line is sort of depression. This, it's like healing past trauma has made me realize that this connection that's been a secret is sort of the key to my happiness. And it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, I love you, we're going to be together for the rest of our lives. It could be, I need to make an amend in order that I can heal my heart because I know I did something wrong. It's a little bit more like, it does feel a little bit more like round two with someone where it was like a hot mess before, and the only way we can clear out the karma with the soul contract is to come together in some way to have an understanding in a real intangible way to ease the heart chakra, a wounding. But it's very much in terms of communication, and a lot of this is happening. A lot of the problem is that a lot of the communication is happening heart-centered, which is psychic communication. But the issue isn't cleared from the karma, from the soul contract. The binding, that devilish shadow binding, isn't released. You can't close the book on it until you manifest the communication into the material world. If you were, a higher dimensional being and you weren't manifesting into a material world, this would be fine for clearing it out. But we're in the meat space where everything's frozen solid, right? The card is frozen light. The table is frozen light. This fucking thing is frozen light. This is me is frozen light. We're all just cooled down until we matter. And the only way to clear this connection for a material being is to bring the communication into the material realm. That means like I'm speaking to you with my mouth. I'm talking to you and touching you with my hand. I'm at least on a Zoom call, because it can be proved that it was real, It would be better in person, so that you're not just sitting in an empty room by yourself. But we're talking about you open your face and move your jaw up and down and relate concepts to somebody outside of just beaming it from your deep inside your brain to someone else's. And that's the only way that this is going to resolve. And we see for the water signs that there's plenty of really deep feelings here, and a lot of that is, it's like I've been working on my shadow. I've been slogging through every feeling I've ever had ever, and I've been thinking about it. So that's what's going on here with this gang of 6 retrograde planets coming off the full moon in Pisces, but more specifically the equinox, when the light and the shadow are equal and the veil becomes thinner. All right, so Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye. CATtheMinion energy work is focused on building a community around creativity and connectivity. Connect to new friends, the universe, and yourself. Shift your perspective of everyday life. Alleviate the stresses of daily life by tapping into self-expression. Help me build my offerings around your needs by investing, interacting, and brainstorming new things we can do. Your financial contributions via donations, purchases of goods and services, and participation on Patreon allow me to pay mundane bills, upgrade to better interactive services and equipment, and to buy art supplies and materials. Additionally, your support helps me pay it forward to charities, other energy workers, and artists, and to gain more visibility so our community can reach even more who need it. You can find a number of the goods and services I offer by clicking the links from my website, cattheminion.wordpress.com, or from my link tree, depending on your preference, linktr.ee/cattheminion. I'm offering original art pieces, digital downloads, art prints, merch, tarot readings, divination tools, templates, coloring books, a dark poetry book, YouTube content, self-care encouragement, and more.